phenomena. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anthony Burbidge and the Unity Band.
I have come here seeking freedom. I have come here seeking peace. I have come here to go deeper into the truest part of me. And it's here in this place. I can see it on each day. Oh yes, here where we are, I can feel it in my heart. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Something wonderful is happening here in me. Oh, it's real, yes, it's true. It's my spirit shining through. Oh, yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 da, da 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 da. I have come here to remember who I truly am inside. I've come here to release it. I no longer have to hide. Oh yes, here I can let go. I can let my feelings show. Oh yes, here in this place I can show my spirit face. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Something wonderful is happening here in me. Oh, it's real, yes, it's true. It's my spirit shining through. Oh, yes, something wonderful is happening here today. And the life I once knew, all the things I have been through, now I see, yes, it's clear. Every step has led me here. And it's here in this room that I'll find my deepest truth. Oh yes, here I just know that I'll find my spirit's home. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Something wonderful is happening here in me. It's real, yes, it's true. It's my spirit shining through. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. And it's happening here in me. Good morning, everybody. All right, come on out, Willie. Come on out, buddy. Yeah, come on out, buddy. This is Willie. He was very quiet the last time he came, and I'm on babysitting duty this morning. And today he just wants to sing with the band. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you have your nap out here, buddy. All right, let's do a song. Actually, you can kind of stay in your seats for the next one because it's a Go Within song. I'm going to do God is Here in This Room. You can put that up on the screen there. God is here in this room, and I am here too. And it's here that I feel and know, oh, that God knows who I am, and God understands what I've gone through to be here in this room with God by my side, with God as my guide. Let go and know deep inside, oh, that God is here in this room, and I am here too, and it's here that I feel and know, oh, that God knows who I am, and God understands what I've gone through to be here in this room with God by my side, with God as my guide. I let go and know deep inside, oh, that God is here in this room. I am here too, and it's here that I feel and know, oh, that God knows who I am, and God understands what I've gone through to be here in this room, with God by my side, God as my guide. I let go and know deep inside, oh, that God is here in this room, and I am here too, with God in this room. All right, let's stand up and get our blood moving now. There is beauty down below. There is beauty up above. There is beauty in the past and in what is yet to come. There is beauty in the
All right. There is a lot of beauty in here. I see a lot of beautiful faces radiating out this morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Calgary. And if this is your first time here with us, a very warm welcome. We're delighted that you have followed that little calling from your heart, or maybe a nudging from a friend to get you to come and experience connecting in with yourself, with spirit, and the sense of doing that in community. It's like when we come together, it's all amplified. So delighted that you have made that choice this morning. My name is Katie Grinham, and I'm going to be part of leading this morning so that you can just relax and follow along and know that how you are in this moment is just the way you need to be, and it is welcome here. We'd love you to get some information about Unity if you are the first time, and if you're joining in online. You can't obviously receive a welcome package, but you could pop onto our website, which is unityofcalgary.org. And love you to have a look at so many wonderful things and ways that you can support your spiritual journey from our website. So let's take a moment to get centered, shall we? It's always a bit of a bustle to arrive. So I invite you to just close your eyes and settle into your seat. As we bring our hearts and minds into a bit of stillness. We start with an affirmative prayer, affirming our good, affirming that we are love, we are light, we are a beautiful spiritual essence living here on the gorgeous planet Earth. And just taking a moment to check in with your own heart. What is it that you need this morning? What would bring you a feeling of peace, of strength, belonging? And set your heart and your mind with the intention, I will receive all I need this morning. Whether it be through the music, the speaker, or sharing with others. For God, love, spirit is always providing for us. All we need to do is open up and receive. We're so thankful for this time together. And so it is. And let's use our own voices to affirm why we are together and our own good as we repeat our statement of love together. We are here. So, all together? Alrighty, sleeping there. Oh, we were waiting for... Oh, okay, pop quiz. Pop quiz. Who remembers it? That's right. Okay, here we go. So, we could say, we are here as love to celebrate the one power, the one presence in our lives, in this community, and in the universe. Oh, that was very good. Very good. Wonderful. And each Sunday we also tune into the daily word, which is actually something that happens 365 days a year that you can get your own copy of or tune in on our website. But this morning I'd like to welcome up Pandora Rain, and she will read our daily word this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Let's see, is that in the right spot? There we go. So they took the branches of the palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting, Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel. From John 12:13. I celebrate and welcome the Christ. Palm Sunday begins Holy Week and commemorates Jesus' triumph entry into Jerusalem. Although he arrived humbly, seated upon a donkey colt, the excitement of the gathered crowd amplified the celebration as they waved palms and shouted. Spiritually, the crowds represent humanity joyously responding to the presence of the Christ among them. Jerusalem symbolizes a place of perfect peace. Today, I celebrate and claim this peace as my own, as the awareness of Christ dawns in me. With each prayer on my lips and every thought in my mind, I celebrate and welcome the Christ of my new being. Thank you.
And yes, it is Palm Sunday. I'll be telling you a little bit about how Unity celebrates Easter and when we get to our announcements. And Unity is part of Calgary. Unity of Calgary is part of a worldwide organization in that this message is being brought all around the world. And in the summer, we actually had someone here from Nigeria, a Unity minister, which was all very exciting for us because we're like, oh my God, we say that, but it's true. It was so exciting. And so we do hold that. And I was thinking, I don't know. I'd have to look and see whether we have unities in the Ukraine. I'm not sure. That would be something to check. Anyway, we want to hold that vision more than ever. This worldwide vision where we see each of us as spiritual beings and holding the highest good in our hearts and our minds for each other. So let us affirm together. We envision a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission is, let's affirm that together. We are a welcoming, vibrant, spiritual community that inspires hearts and transforms lives by expressing our divine essence. So if that makes sense to you, that idea that by us all living fully into who we are makes a difference. We're delighted that you're here, and perhaps Unity is a place where you can share yourself, and we'd love to have you here as often as you will come. So we do have some community news, lots of it actually. So next week is Easter, and we here at Unity have our own Easter celebration, and this is going to be led by our spiritual leadership team this Sunday. So that'll be fun. You get to see them all together, which is Susan Cullen, Cecil Wantner, and Bob Elwood. And they'll be exploring the metaphysical meaning of the Easter story. So you know how we did that a bit at Christmas? Well, now we're doing it with Easter. And it's going to be done through reflection of music and meditation. And we also will have our flower ceremony. How many of you have experienced the flower ceremony? Yes. Mm-hmm. So it's just a very simple ceremony of honoring the truth of who you are. And it's a beautiful representation of spring and the coming and the affirming of our own spiritual essence. So we'll hope you join us. And those of you, hang on. Those of you at home, you might consider coming in person next week so you can get your beautiful flower and blessing. So hope that you'll join us. And later today, right after service, we're going to have our potluck. And so these have been very fun, and hope that you'll stay and join us for that. If you didn't happen to bring any food, don't worry. We usually have lots, and we'd love you to just share in the fellowship of doing that. I have a tickle. But anyway, we'll journey on. Also, after the potluck, will be the last, we keep saying the last, but these book people, these book study people, they just keep going and going. They're like the ever-ready bunny, you know. We'll say, this is the last, and then they go for another week or two. So I'm not going to say it's the last, because who knows with them. But it's a book study, and it's a really interesting book. And you know what, even if you hadn't read the book, but you're interested in this idea of divine compensation, you could join in on the discussion. And I think that, you know, just being in that is helpful. And someone brought me water. Thank you. That'll keep me going. On the 23rd, hang on, I'm actually going to drink it. There we go. On April 23rd, which is actually Saturday, we're going to have an opportunity to learn something. How exciting is that? That might be just outside your comfort zone, but a place that you can learn another way to contribute here at Unity of Calgary. And that is that we're going to have Neil Thrussell is willing to share some of his expertise about computers and broadcasting, and in particular our Streamyard, which is how we broadcast here. And we'd love to have a few more people trained in this. So Brenda back there, yay Brenda, Brenda Hall, can have an odd Sunday off. She's doing a great job, but we'd love to have a few more people trained. So if you're interested and want more information, you can contact Ross, who's the head of our communications. So communications@unityofcalgary.org. Or, of course, you can speak to the board or spiritual leadership. And then we're going to have some fun. At the end of the month, we often have a movie. But this month, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a musical coffee house. Yes, and what's really great is True Guy Starhorse, who has brought his music to us several times, and his heart and presence is amazing. And he has just put out a new CD. And how the day is going to work is in the morning, he is our speaker and musical guest. So you're going to get a lovely experience of him in the morning. And then in the afternoon, about 2:30, we're going to gather together for this fun afternoon. And he's going to read poetry and do more of his music, and people can share and sing and be together, and it should be a really lovely afternoon. And so I hope that you'll mark it on your calendar. That's why we're telling you a little bit ahead of time, so that you're aware of what's coming up. And as Susan just said, bring a friend. How fun is that? Something nice to do. Well, now that we can be out in the world, right, and do activities, it's really fun to do something that's both musical and spiritual together.
Can I give my 2 cents on that too?
Sure.
So, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort to actually create a CD. I know this. and as a musician, like, we can't give him anything better than just, like, invite a friend. If we can pack this place and everybody comes and has a good experience and everybody takes home a CD, like, it changes everything for that one person. And he, like, his whole mission, he's giving to the world. He's not in this for fame or fortune, and really it's a circle of love, and we really need to show up for him, to do the extra, invite someone and come to the event. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents.
That's great, Anthony. Yeah, it really is. And he is a lovely person, and his voice is like, I don't know, velvet.
It's like butter.
It's like butter.
It's
It's
like
like
butter.
butter. Yeah, like butter. That's the 24th. So that's the last Sunday of the month. And so, so you have a little break, run out, get some lunch, come back. And yeah, I'm just so excited to have. We've talked about doing coffee houses and music, so I'm so delighted to see this coming forth. There's also a couple of something else that you can do a couple of things you can do online. And Linda Martell Whitsett is the woman who wrote the book, How to Talk Without Speaking to God, and also Divine Audacity. So she's contributed to our community quite extensively, and certainly to our prayer program. So for those of you who have already taken the course, our prayer course, or read that book, you can go online on starting in May, and you can always come up to us. The best way to get the information is to be on our newsletter, but it's going to be on Friday evenings, the 6th, 13th, and 20th, and she is going to be leading this lovely refresher and deep dive into the work of prayer with her. So that's for people who have already studied her book or familiar with it. Oh, it's from 11 to 1. Is that our time? 11 to 1, our time. Okay. Okay, great. And then on starting this week, or pretty close here, April 20th, if you haven't taken that course, then she's got one online for you if you're just interested in it. But the fact that Unity does a different kind of prayer. We do affirmative prayer. And perhaps you've been curious about that. And how do I have more of that kind of prayer in my life? And so that course is going to be going 5 Wednesdays. So if you would like more information about that, Alara Payton's not here this morning, but Susan Callan can help you. And I mean, how often do you get to do the course with the person who designed it? And I have met her a couple of times, and she is a light bulb. Like, she's just electrified with life. She's only about this tall, and she is full of the Spirit. There's no doubt about that. So a great opportunity to learn from her. Okay, so that's great. And of course, the best way to get all this information is from our newsletter. And if you need some help getting signed up on that newsletter for some reason, then reach out. You know, you can do it on the website, but sometimes technology is, you know, a little quirky. So let us help you if you need that, because we want you to know what's going on. And the other thing is, how many people did look at their newsletter this week? Right? So Adele and Ross have been up to their magic, and we have a new format now. So go and have a look. It's really beautiful. It's great. So let's give them a hand for all their work on that. All right. Let's have some music, Anthony and the band. Let's take us into the next phase of our time together.
In this Kali age, when light grows dim, will I succumb to the darkness within? Or will I choose to rise above all the madness that shadows my love? Now the time has finally come to take a stand and stand for love. Well, there will be no peace in the world around me till there is peace in the world within me. There will be no peace in the world around me till there is peace in the world within me. There will be no peace if not for me. No armor lives and Christ protects, and Elohim loves me and Allah forgives. The choice is mine to rise above all the darkness that shadows my love. Now the time has finally come to take a stand and stand for love. For there will be no peace in the world around me till there is peace in the world within me. There will be no peace in the world around me till there is peace in the world stand as one and stand for love. There will be no peace in the world around us. There is peace in the world within us. There will be no peace in the world around us. There is peace in the world within us. There will be no peace if not for us. There will be no peace if not for us. There will be no
Beautiful. It's so true, isn't it? We can't even perceive the peace on the outside if we're all stirred up on the inside. Beautiful message, Anthony. So this morning, our speaker is someone that we know and love dearly, that is part of our Unity family, and he always brings with him amusing stories and anecdotes, and I always think, gosh, you know, after he's been speaking all these years, how does he come up with something new to say, right? But he does. As Reverend Doug has been in the New Thought movement for over 40 years, and he has had his own ministry, he does counseling, he's a hiker, he's a person of nature, he's a mountain man, and at Christmas, he's a Santa. So he's a presence all in his own. So this morning, we're delighted that he's going to come and speak about that love is light, keeping our light shining brightly. Please welcome Reverend Doug Craig.
Thank you, Katie. Good morning. How's everybody this lovely morning? Whee! Well, you know, this idea, by the way, you know, I was musing over this and talking with Katie. I don't ever recall having any talk done without love being mentioned in it, do you? Because it's one of those topics that you hear about all the time. So what I thought I'd do is do something just a bit different to maybe tweak you a bit to experiencing more love in your life. Now, I always hear people say, oh, I'd like a little more love in my life. You can't have any more love in your life. You can't. How come? Because you've already got all there is. You already got all there is. So we're going to talk about love is light and keeping our light shining. And the first thing that come to me, this is kind of strange, but you know, strange things come to me. Put my truck in reverse, and I got that little computer screen that comes up that shows me what's behind me. Huh? Now, I never use it other than a quick look because I'm a mirror man from the old days. I love it. I'm an expert at it. But the other day I looked in it, and I couldn't see a darn thing. And why? It's because of the little device in the back had dirt over it. Just like sometimes my sensors, you know, when you get too close to a pedestrian or a car, they go beep, beep in the new cars. Well, they don't work. Your collision thing doesn't work. Why? Yes, it does work. Yes, that backup light it was just distorted, that's all. And that's why I say you can't have any more love in your life because we already got all there is to have. And if it doesn't feel like it, or if it doesn't feel like it's shining, that's simply because it's distorted. There's something blocking it. That's all. So you don't have to do anything to bring more love into your life. All we got to do is learn how to keep our light shining brightly, and that's to remove the obstructions. So here you go. The first one, and I know you all heard it before, but we got to do this again. The art and importance of forgiveness. One cannot have more love in one's life until one learns to remove, which is not love. And that is resentment, anger, animosity, any distortions that we hold within inside of ourselves. Because they're not the truth. All they are is guck covering the light. So it's really important. How important? Well, Jesus was doing his thing, and his number one disciple, Peter, come to him, and Jesus, he says, my brother sinned against me. Shall I forgive him till 7 times? And Jesus said, no. I think he was pretty relieved until he spoke again. No, 7 times 70. So it is a constant, ongoing practice. It is required. Now, there's all those other people and other things that is happening, and it's really easy to build resentment inside of yourself. All you got to do is turn on the news and look what's happening in the world today. You could get resentful really quick. And is that going to help anything? No. If everybody wants to help, then let the light of love within us begin to shine by removing our own distortions. So it's important to forgive, whether you like it or not. And of course, Jesus followed it up with the most important thing. He said, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. As I have loved you, that ye also love one another. So, hey, all the Old Testament's really good in that, but this is the one that Jesus gave. And why didn't he go into a lot of rhetoric and more this, and this? Because that's all that we really need to do, basically. And our whole life and our whole journey is just about revealing that which we already are, unencumbered with all of the negative distortions that we've accepted. So I'd like to move into another area here. We'll talk a little bit more about, well, I guess, one of the things about forgiveness is people say, well, you got to love to forgive. Has anybody ever heard that? I could never start at loving. I just couldn't do it. Okay? So I had to back it up. And I tried liking some people. That's a good start. But there were a few that I couldn't even get on the like list. They were still on my naughty list. Okay? The thing is, technically, you really don't have to like anybody, or you really don't have to love anybody if you don't want to. There's no requirement. However, you are required to maintain a degree of neutrality within inside of you. If you can reach neutrality and not have a reaction one way or another, then that's a really good start. I got a couple of people on that neutral list. And every now and again they float by me in my mind just to see if I'm walking the talk instead of just talking about it. Anybody have any people float through you like that? Yeah. And that's really the acid test. So if you could get to at least being neutral, just like you're passing somebody on the street, you don't have any feeling, they're just another human being going about your experience like you. So you're kind of neutral. And that's okay. But if you can like, that's good. And if you love, that's even better. So at least work on that with other people. Now, here's the acid test. How are you doing with the person in the mirror? Really, folks, all of that dealing with resentment and anger and animosity with other people, that's the easy work. The tough work is dealing with self and that mind chatter and all of that stuff that we think about ourselves. And, those are the things that we always think about stuff like that. Well, I'm glad nobody else knows what I'm thinking about myself. That's absolutely terrible. Where did that come from? Does anybody do that? No, I don't need hands because I know everybody does. Okay, so then we move into the practice of unconditional love. My mother taught me that because I was a handful. Oh, was I a handful? Yeah, I let her off the hook, and she had faith in me after about 32 years, then I started to make some significant changes. But it was a long haul for her. But unconditional love is really the basics of learning how to separate the person from the problem. You love the person, but you have to deal with the problem. And that's boundaries and limits and, all of that kind of stuff. And if you really love yourself and somebody else, then you'll do it. You won't be an enabler. Isn't that a nasty word, enabler? Because we've all been it, and I don't think anybody likes being an enabler. And it's not a bargaining tool. I'll love you if. Has anybody ever heard that? I love you, but. So if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, I guess it'd be time for Christmas. Got to leave them out of the conversation. Or how about this one? I will or I won't love you if you do or you don't do this. You could make a real big list on those ones, eh? So get that out of the thing. There's no bargaining there. It's got nothing to do with it. It's a personal thing. It has nothing to do with the other person. Zero. So you don't leave all of that trash out because it's not relevant. It has to do with how one conducts themselves. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook said about divine forgiveness, when we learn to put away our petty virtues with our petty vices, then shall we see clearly not what either virtue or vice is, but what the truth is. The mind which condemns understands not the truth of being, and the heart which would shut it the door of its bosom to the one who is mistaken strangles its own life, closing its eyes to a greater vision. The biggest life is the one which includes the most. Not that we foster vice or place a premium upon wrongdoing, but that we understand the frailties of the human nature and learn to overlook much. To him who loves much, much is forgiven. And so the other thing to just kind of top that off, I love that statement, is the one that is the big lie that everybody tells themselves. Oh, I find it so much easier to love my children or my dog or somebody else than myself. Has anybody ever heard that before? Why is it a lie? The lie is the only place that can happen is in a reasoning and an intellectual manner. Intellectually, you can do that. But ultimately, love isn't an intellect thing, it's a feeling. And if you got a feeling inside of you, it doesn't matter what. You can't have any more than what you got, no matter how you try to rationalize or justify it or place a premium on it out there. So love yourself if you want to love other people more. It'll be an automatic thing. Okay, I think I got some more good stuff here too to think about. Keeping the inner house sacred. Sacred means being connected with God or a great respect for. So finding that peace and serenity in ourselves is not a thing of itself, but peace and serenity is the result of the work we do to release distortions. I always use in my affirmative prayer that I experience peace, prosperity, fulfillment, and happiness. Now, when I started doing that and working on it, did I really know what it was? I only knew what it was where I was, but as I go along on my journey and work with it, then it becomes deeper and becomes a little bit more of who and part of what I am. So it's a natural evolution to do that if you do the work. And thank God, because I got to tell you, I'm pretty intense, if you haven't ever noticed. And this peace, prosperity, fulfillment, and happiness thing really does work. But if you think you're going to turn the switch on and it's going to happen tomorrow, no. It's a lifetime pursuit. And it happens with gradual degrees. And all of a sudden you have an epiphany one day, you say, oh, woo, where have I come from? And look at me now. But it's not that. It's the little steps that take you to that point to have that epiphany. So we got to keep that inner house sacred. So minimize or eliminate. Here you are, folks. This has got to go. Fear, doubt, worry, negativity, or judgment. And you're going to say, well, that's easy to say. Yeah, you can't eliminate fear. That's right. You can't really eliminate some of that, but you minimize the impact of it, and you don't invite it to be part of your experience. A lot of the things that I've done where I've been in life and death situations and that, did I have fear? Absolutely. If you don't have fear, then you should be afraid. But one has to learn how to park it and stay and stand in the Spirit and then pick it up and deal with it later. You might say it's easy to say, harder to do, but I had a lot of experience. It took me a long time to get to that point, and I've had a lot of great demonstrations by using it. Practice or think, be proactive. And my 3 favorite no's: no blaming, no justifying. You don't have to justify anything. If you feel, I can't justify how I feel because I don't know sometimes why I feel that way. And the big one here, folks, this will save your bacon more than you can realize. No attachment to outcomes. Don't get attached to outcomes. Okay? I had to learn that the hard way. I guess we all do, right? And to work with it, that's one of the greatest tools that Ann and I work with on a day-to-day basis. Be proactive and also be solution-oriented. For every problem, there's a solution. And for every problem, there's a bigger one. We get to choose who we serve. So those are just a few little things. And remember, that inner house is sacred. One of my favorite lakes is Bow Lake, right at Bow Glacier Falls up in the Icefield Parkway. And what I love about that so much is when there's no wind and I get the reflection. I think it's only been there twice in my lifetime where I got it. And last year was one of them. I got unbelievable, spectacular shots. And a lot of time there's a little distortion or a big distortion. Now the question is that beauty there? Even if the distortion, I can't see it, I can't experience it, but it's there. It's there. And if I remove the obstructions, then I get that clarity. And really that's how it works. We remove the instructions, and that thing that we call love reflects from in us out into our life, and we see it all over the place. It's not that gives us the love. Wrong. It's this that gives us the opportunity to experience love with all the life around us. So it's really not the thing itself out there. It's the thing itself within us. And I was telling a couple of people before, I'm going to close with this right now. And I was telling a couple of people before this, when I come across this, I really didn't like it at all. And so I read it a few times, and then I knew I had to share it because it's really relevant. And I hope you don't like it, but I hope you hear it, and I hope you work with it because it is really good and so true. An unhealed person can always find something to be offended about in the actions or words of others. I didn't like that. A healed person understands that people's actions or words have nothing to do with them. I don't like that. And this is it. Each day you get to decide which one you'll be. So take those words and, if nothing else, use those and reflect what you're doing in your coming week and your experience, and just see about the truth about whether I am healed or unhealed. I want to be healed, But I think I'm a bit of a heel because I'm unhealed in some of the areas there. So I know for you, as I know for myself, that the divine presence of good and God is in me, in you, in each of us, right here, right now, expresses by means of us, through us, in our own unique and special way. So we're good exactly the way they are. I accept it for myself and each year, and I know it to be so, and so it is. And I'm going to ask Katie to come right up. Just maintain that energy, and Anthony's going to lead us into a meditation. We're going to do it that way today.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
And just singing along as you feel it.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
And just allowing yourself to do just that. I invite you to sink down into your chair as though you are sinking into those arms of love. Imagine being able to just let go, even for just these few moments. Allow yourself to feel yourself getting more and more into the chair, and bring your awareness to your feet. Imagine that your feet are sinking down through the floor and into the earth, connecting down into Mother Earth. How good it feels to feel connected, to belong. For you do belong. You are a precious creation, as precious as the grass and the trees and the flowers. And draw the energy of Mother Earth up your legs, all the way to the base of your spine, as though you were just sitting with her. You're just sitting in nature, like I'm sure you have all done, and letting go of any of your concerns or worries, doubts or fears. What if you could? What if you could? Allowing this to be so. And as you rest in, take a few deep breaths, slowly in and gently out, and slowly in. And on the next breath, imagine that the energy of the earth is now coming up your body, up your spine, right up to your heart, How good it feels. Our heart being surrounded by the love of nature, the gentleness. Nature is full of imperfections, and yet we see it as something as beautiful. What if we could see ourselves the way we see nature? I am beautiful. I have prickles. I have thorns. I have rocks. And I have flowers and trees and blue skies. What if we could hold ourselves the way we hold nature? Allowing, accepting. We have our thoughts about nature, but they come and go. What if we could have our thoughts about ourselves and let them come and go? And imagine now, bring your awareness to above your head and imagine a brilliant white light. Or imagine it like the sun, knowing that it brings with it a deep sense of well-being, a rejuvenation of vitality, of love and light. And allow it to shine down on the top of your head as though you are a great tree. I am grounded. I am strong. I am growing and changing each and every moment of each and every day. And I drink in the guidance and the love of that energy that created me. I allow it to flow down over my head and around my shoulders to comfort me and strengthen me. How good it feels to be alive in this moment, just as you are. And knowing that the more love and light that you feel in yourself, the more you have to radiate out into the world. This is how we truly be of service to our family, our friends, our neighbors, our world, to the people who challenge us. For we are an expression of that beautiful love and light. The growth, the expansion, however you call it, the God of your understanding. Breathe it in and know that this is so every moment of every day when you allow yourself to connect to it. Take a deep breath in and just rest quietly for a moment into that deep feeling. And as we anchor that in, we know that this is the love and the light that surrounds us and is within us. And so it is.
I bless the sun, I bless the rain, I bless the joy, I bless the pain, I bless the friend, I bless the foe, I bless it all, 'cause I know that everything is a blessing in my life. Yes, everything is a blessing, even when it's in disguise. I bless the love that draws me near. I bless the thought that's born from fear. I bless the word that hurts me so. I bless it all and I let it go. 'Cause everything is a blessing in my life. Everything is a blessing, even when it's in disguise. 'Cause everything in life has a purpose in mind, and its purpose is to lead me home. All that comes my way for my good and not against, and it's in my life to let me know. That everything is a blessing in my life. Everything is a blessing, even when it's in disguise. Even when it's in disguise. Even when it's in disguise.
Beautiful. Thank you, Anthony. So now it is time for us to share our gifts. And as you can imagine, it takes a lot of energy and people, resources to put together our Sunday service each and every Sunday. But we feel that there is nothing more valuable than we can do than to contribute to the way that people think and feel about themselves. Because just like Reverend Doug said, it's where it begins and how it moves out into the world. So this is our time of conscious giving. And together we share our time, our talent, and treasure to sustain our community and keep it moving forward. And for those of you who are here, if you would like to put your love offering in the bowl, you can do that. You can get up and move around when we start singing Give with an Open Heart. We've kind of given up passing the bowl because we thought, first of all, it was COVID, and then also just to give you a bit more space and time to do it in the way that you want to do it. And for those of you who are at home, you can donate by sending an e-transfer to donate@unityofcalgary.org or by going to our website, or you can send a check. So however it is that you want to continue supporting our community, that, of course, is part of our world, and we're truly grateful for all the ways that you do that. So let's stand up and sing our offering song. Always gets the energy going, doesn't it? That was a bit of sitting we did, so let's liven up our bodies there, Anthony, and take us into it.
Thank you, band. Thank you, Doug. Thank each and every one of you. Please join with me as we bless our offering. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
All right, please have a seat. And we also have our blessing for the children. The children in the world, our own inner children that are ever growing and struggling to just know that we're enough and to keep loving away. So let us affirm together. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And we're bringing our awareness now to those people or situations that we feel may need a little more love and support. There is no shortage in our world at the moment. We certainly hold the situation with Russia and Ukraine, looking for a peaceful outcome. And soon, needs to be soon. It's gone on long enough. And to hold any other areas of strife around in our world, and the strife and the upsets in our own minds and our own families. For it is that peace that we're all striving for. So take a moment, if you will, and bring to mind something that you would like to focus on for a moment or two. And as you bring that to mind, know that we affirm the good. We see the person that you're praying for, whole, healthy, strong, vibrant, a beautiful expression of the divine. No matter what they're facing, holding this vision for them will strengthen them. And we hold our world, each and every person in it, the same way. Breathe it in. Know it to be so. And so it is. And if you have other prayer concerns, we have our prayer box at the table back there. You can write the name of the person or situation you're concerned of and put it in the prayer box. You can also send it to unityofcalgary.org by email. And Laura Payton, our prayer chaplain or our prayer guide, will be more than happy to connect with you around that if you need individual prayer. You can also go to our Unity Worldwide is 1-800-NOW-PRAY. And as each and every month, we are always connected to the other unities across our country. And this month, we are holding Unity Vancouver Island. And they've joined together. It used to be Unity of Victoria and Unity in Nanaimo and Comox. And the three of them have come together and are doing some really beautiful, wonderful work on the island. And so we send our love and support to them as they continue to hold that energy on the island. And let us use our voices again, for we are affirming our good for ourselves and the world. So together, the light that is God surrounds me. I am the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am the love. The power that is God protects me. I am the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen. All right, Anthony, you got another song for us?
Yes, before we do our song together, I want to say hello to all our friends at home.
Yay.
And we'll just, I'll tell you who's at home, and then we can give them some applause. So hello to Janice, Adele, Claude, Chris, Trish and Wade, Flo and Wanda. Thank you for joining us.
Beautiful.
And I also wanted to just take a moment here. Some of you might have noticed that Chad, who's been our bass player for, I guess, maybe 9 years, hasn't been here the last few weeks. And I just want to let you know that he's taken some time off for personal reasons. He's doing some healing and some inner work. And I want to thank Ray for stepping in on, like, no notice at all, short notice. And he's doing a great job covering the bass. Today he's doing bass and sound at the same time. And if you haven't talked to Chad lately, then, reach out to him. I would ask that you hold him in your thoughts and in your prayers and your meditations. And if you are talking to him, please encourage him to come here on Sunday morning. Come and be a part of the community. And even though he does need some time on his own, I think that it would be very helpful if he was here with us. I also wanted to say just a quick special welcome back to Tina, and that we all hold her healing.
Yay, Tina.
Hold her healing in mind as she is getting stronger and better every day. Here we go. Let's stand up and do I Am a Light.
Yeah.
I am a light, eh? I am a light. I am light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am light. I am a light in this world. And I shine.
And I shine. And I shine.
Shine so bright. And I shine.
And I shine. And I shine.
Shine so bright. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world.
say you guys look kind of shiny out there. Very good. Taking our light into the world. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doug. I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he'll feel the vibe. Thank you so much for his talk, Reverend Doug. Always brings new insights. Thank you all for being here, the band, the music. So let's form our circle around the outside of the room there. Just moving into place and connecting as we sing our blessing and knowing this energy of love goes out into the world. Let there be peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous sound. Take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you all. Please stay for potluck. We're going to bring out some tables and move the chairs around, and we'll get to enjoy some conversations that matter with people who care.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And